Arkansas is home to some of the largest wine producers in the country.
A couple of months ago, we introduced you to one of them and the industry's rich history here in our natural state.
A key ingredient to that history is grape breeding. And as THV11's Jalissa Garza shows us, it's something the University of Arkansas has been working on for decades.
These scientists in Clarksville have a pretty sweet job.
The University of Arkansas system has a fruit breeding program.
Dr. Renee Threlfall is one of the scientists at the university's fruit research station. One of their goals is sustainability, so we can enjoy our favorite fruits grown right here in Arkansas. A big focus, grapes.
Table grapes originally, and they also began crosses on wine grapes. Back in the 70s and 80s.
Wine is a thriving industry here in the natural state, making a perfect pair for their research.
We have over 20 wineries in our state, and we have about 30 grape growers. And so while that seems like not very many, it's actually really impactful in the economy of the state.
Threlfall says the process of breeding grapes is kind of like making wine. It takes time and patience.
You plant the plant, it grows into the vine grows, and then the vine produces grapes, but not until about the third year.
And it's a long journey to even get to that point.
You're basically taking female parts of one plant and male parts of another plant and mixing up the pollen and creating new seeds.
It's a big undertaking that isn't done everywhere.
There's not much grape breeding happening all over the world, but so it's very unique that we have that capability.
But the university has done it with the goal of growing more grapes here rather than bringing them in from outside the state.
We've released 4 different cultivars of wine grapes. The first 2 were Opportunity and Enchantment, and then the last 2 that were released last year were Dazzle and Indulgence.
Some of these grapes eventually made their way to Post Winery in Altus.
These are Enchantment grapes, where they've been evaluating Enchantment and Opportunity and some of the other cultivars for probably over 10 years.
Enchantment is the biggest success story of the 4 grapes. The wine grape now makes up 75% of this bottle that sits on the shelves inside the Post family winery.
These are ancient rootstocks from 100 years ago.
James Post is part of the team that has overlooked and cared for these grapes provided by the university.
They're just now starting to turn their pretty colors.
He says it took a lot of trial and error to get these vines growing.
The trials and different breedings, trying to match rootstocks to different plants, and just whatever tends to work and grow here.
His family has been a staple in the Arkansas wine industry since the 1800s, and he says it's exciting to continue being part of the history.
It was really nice feeling. All this hard work and time starts to show.
While the other 3 grapes haven't been able to be turned into wine and bottled for shelves just yet, the vines are already at nurseries. Threlfall says this is another way for Arkansas to continue having an impact on the wine industry beyond our state.
The outreach is slow in terms of our impact because we really won't know probably for about 10 years until we start seeing bottles of wine of the particular cultivars commercially.
In Altus, Jalissa Garza, THV11 News.
Well, the university's fruit research station says it plans to release another new breed of grapes soon that they've been working on for 10 years.
Now, if you'd like to learn more about the wine industry here in Arkansas, you can find a link to that story right now on our website, THV11.com.